Welcome back to Wood Acres. Today we're adding a gravel bed to Mumbles Pond. Quit it. Now before we get started, this weekend was a little bit hectic and I was running around doing a bunch of different things. We got new turkey on the homestead and new piglets. So I had to get all of them settled in, and I also wanted to get some work done on Mumbles Pond. Pup, and what we're working on Mumbles Pond is the two entrances that we're gonna have the ducks and the dogs using. I need to work on the shallow entrances of the pond that the ducks and the dogs use so they can go in and out of the pond without stirring up a lot of mud. So we're gonna be working on the duck ramp going into the pond and the boat launch area. Now for this project, we need some gravel. I don't have that around here to forage for, so I did have to buy a half a ton of river gravel, and I picked that up in my truck. But I also need some regular 2B limestone gravel, and I need a lot of that. It's not gonna fit in my truck. So my brother's borrowing a dump truck and he'll be able to get 5 to 6 tons in that. Pup, but we're gonna be bouncing around today, so I'm gonna throw you back and get you all caught up with what we got started already. And we got a lot of work done in this video, so enjoy. Pup. Oh, big bird. Tell him, Pup. Good boy, good boy. Big bird flying through. Good boy, puppy. You were doing some work in the backhoe. I was doing some work down here at the pond. Now I got a wall of rocks there right underneath water level, and that's gonna be the catch for the gravel we're gonna put on the ramp. But right now there's a bit of a hump right there on the ramp, and I want to take that off, or I think whenever the ducks are going up and down the ramp, they're just going to be kicking the gravel down into the water the whole time. So I'm going to get my dad to come over here with the backhoe, and he's going to scrape that off smooth. And then I can bring my truck out here and we can get the gravel on the ramp. Hump up. That'll be better for the birds, don't you think? Have an issue. Oh yeah? Making a muddy mess in there, Mav. Pond was looking good too. Oh puppy, shaking all over me. Come on. Huh, pup. Well, pup, we are back out here. My brother just left to go get the dump truck full of gravel, and he's going to be bringing it back out here and dumping it here where my dad just back dragged the smooth section. We didn't do it for you, killdeer. Keep on moving. But we're going to be dumping the gravel right here, and then we'll be working it from there into the harbor area and around this inside. But before we get any of the rain that they're calling for, there is a couple humps up here on the access road that we're going to try and smooth out. Oh, is that a baby killdeer? Oh, we have a baby killdeer! Look at that little puff. They had babies. Gorgeous. You see it out there by the mulch? All the little baby killdeer. Coming down from the mulch hill, going into the access road. Maverick, come here! They're all over. There's 3 of them at least.
Why they're flying all over here? I had figured I had to be close to a nest somewhere.
Come here, come here. Right there's the puffball to your left. Stay, stay. You don't need to chase the locals. You just got to get the water to run the right way. Pop. Poppy, Stone's here. Hold up. Nice. Stone's here, Mav. Oh, Pup. All right, Pup. We have something to work with now. Yeah, go ahead and dip that belly, Pup. Cool down. Yeah, we're gonna have some work to do out here. Easy, Mav, easy. Hey, hey, hey. He doesn't want splashed. He's not young like you. Quit it. No splashing in the pool. You pup. Huh, you're just trying to relax, aren't you, Pup? But we are going to try and fill up this whole shallow area with the gravel. I don't think I'm going to have my dad's help here to set these big stones today. Maverick! Quit it. You mutt. Oh, he's going to find a deep spot. Slow down, Pup. Hey. Hey. Calm down. No, don't eat the hillside. You pup. You good, bud. Look at you all bellied out. You never belly out in the pond. Look at you. Good boy. You're almost completely submerged, puppy. That is so good to see you like that. Echo Pup's never been fully submerged on purpose. You fell off a boat dock one time when he was a pup when we were fishing. Oh, I gotta get up. Splashing again. Hey! We don't want splashed. It's enough. Come on. You're gonna have to walk home, Pup. Alright, ride on the floor. Come on. Life. You're riding on the floor. You pup. Alright, we got our stone. We got something to work with. My brother's gonna talk for a while, so we'll be right back. You pup. Okay. All right, pup, we have a little bit of time left before the rain's supposed to come. Maverick has gone home. Oh, the geyser. Maverick's gone home, and we're gonna go out and see if we can move some stone. Now, I think we're gonna have to make some changes to the ramp I did yesterday evening. Pup, that did not go to plans. The water is looking better after the bag of lime I put in there yesterday. And this does look nice as a ramp. The problem is the round gravel just keeps moving every time I go down. It's just too steep for it. And then once you get down to water level, you're just going right into the mud, and all the stone is just sinking into the mud. So I think I need to build up a base layer before I put anything on the top. But we're gonna switch gears and we're gonna come over to the harbor area now that we have all this new stone here. Pop. Oh, I need the wheelbarrow. But if you don't know already, this is the harbor area I'm planning on using. This is where we launch the boat from and where the dogs go in for a drink. But right where those stakes are is where it drops off to a deeper area. And I want to kind of frame this off. And to do that, we're going to be setting these bigger stones up on end in the water so they still stick up out of the water. But I can't set these stones on loose, wet dirt. So we are going to have to build a base layer of the gravel first. And a base layer of all this gravel is also going to help keep the mud down whenever the dogs go in there for a drink too. As well as the ducks going in and out. So this is going to be one of the shallow areas we're trying to contain the dirt in. If we can get a nice shallow bed of gravel here, that's going to be a lot cleaner than the mud. Pup. And the other side I am going to have to do some rework on. But before the storm shows up in about 45 minutes, we're going to see how much stone we can move. Load up. Get your ball. Load up. Come on. Load up. Alright, that's all we got done. We'll see if this blows over. Well, the rain is starting here, and we do need rain. The pond is low. Even the koi pond is about 5 to 6 inches low right now. And we're a little bit low in Mumbles pond, but she is holding water really well. I was thinking we might even be lower than we are right now. But we definitely needed a rain, so hopefully we can get some of this rain to go into Mumbles Pond and start replenishing some of this evaporation we got this week. And it seems to be picking up here too. I went back and closed the back door of the barn because Mumbles was inside, so I didn't want that blowing in. Oh, it is picking up here. We don't need wind. We don't need all this wind. I just need rain. Take cover, Pop. It's coming in heavy. We'll be right back. Take cover, birds. Huh, Pop, you're taking cover in here. Good boy, you gotta stay nice and dry. It's a storming out there. You, Pop. And the birds are singing, the rain has passed. We can see if we can get some more stone moved. If it's not too muddy out here. We got a little over 1/4 inch of rain, and this stone looks so good. I wish it worked. That is gorgeous going down there. It could work fine for the ducks, I guess, but it's just not that great to walk on for me or the dogs. This should be a lot better over here, Pup. Starting to take it into the water. I am building it up, so we are going to have the water level a little bit lower in here. But, oh, I have mud all over my feet. Good one. Pup, what about you? You went a little bit too far. But once we get it pushed out over to the last stake there, we'll have a nice gravel bed in here, so it'll be nice and clean whenever Pup walks. Whoa, wait, this way. Yeah, you gotta stay on this side of the post, Pup. Now we have a lot more space to cover here, but good news is we have a lot more stone in the pile. I just don't know if it's gonna be easy to get down this hill now. Pup. We'll figure it out. Dinner time, pup. Come on. Well, pup, it's the next day. Let's see what we got done yesterday. Got about half of the pile moved, and I got a little over 6 tons. So that was 3 tons of stone that we got moved into this. And we have some clearer water here. That is nice to see the stone. Pup, we can actually see right through the water. A couple inches of clearance or visibility. What do you think, pup? You can walk in there without making a muddy mess now? How low can you go? Not bad. Look at that. No mud getting stirred up. Pup. That's much better. Oh, whoa, drops off a little bit right here. Drops off kind of quickly. And the mud was coming up through here yesterday. So I don't know, it might work its way through, but for the most part, it's just gonna be ducks and dogs on it. So this is looking good. A lot more firm than it was before. Still gonna stir up some dust, but I think once the gravel gets washed out, it might be pretty good. Yeah, it's already clearing up over here where we started. I'm liking it. And the water is pretty low right now. We haven't had a lot of rain. Whoa, pup, don't go that far. You can't bite the bobber. You gotta stay within the stakes, bud. But the water is pretty low. At least 5 inches. So whenever the water level comes back up, we will be covering up some of that turf over there, but I also need some of the gravel up the bank here, so when the water level comes up, it doesn't come in contact with the dirt again. I don't think I want to cover the whole hillside here with the gravel. I just had to make a ramp for the wheelbarrow to get down here. But we might have to take it up a little bit higher here, and then hopefully we can get the grass to come down about halfway. But I am liking the gravel bed over here. It's going to keep it a lot cleaner here in the pond with the ducks and the dogs going in and out. But there's another area that they're going to be using, and I did have to make a change. I had this round river gravel on the steep slope, and it just was not working too well. It was just rolling down the hill. So whenever I was moving the stone over here, I needed a little path with the gravel, and this is pretty much just as steep, but it was holding in place a lot better. And if you look closely, you can see why, because this actually has some angular rock in it, and all these different angles interlock together and hold tight. And if you know anything about shapes, round stuff does not interlock together. It just keeps on rolling over each other. So I ended up raking and shoveling all the round stone I could off of the hill face and back up to the top here. And then I put the angular stone on the hill face. And now, as you can see, we can actually walk down the hill without sliding. Everything's locking together, giving us nice traction here. So this is going to be great for the ducks. And once it does get all run over, it'll be pretty flat. So we're not going to have a lot of points up on the duck feet. So I'm going to try and smash it in the best I can here and get it all flat as possible. And whenever it did rain a little bit yesterday, this stone looked really good. So I'm going to leave a border of the round gravel that we're not going to be walking on. I think that'll still look good over there. But down here, we also need to make a change. I need to pull all these big stones up out of the water and the mud. And then before we put those back in, I'm gonna have to put a wheelbarrow or a fork down in there, try and get it all packed in tight so it can actually hold those stones. Because right now, every time I step on them, they just slide further into the water. So I need to build up a base for them with the 2B limestone first, and then we can set those back in there. And then once we have a base and a nice wall with the rocks, that will hold everything up on this ramp. Pop, brought the golf cart out so Echo Pup had some shade. Good boy, you're using it too. He's watching Grandpa Char Char burn all the branches. Sweating out here. Pop, it's a beautiful day. So like I said, we still have some work to do at the bottom of the ramp here and get those stone reset. And then we also need to bring a little bit more gravel down to this area as well. I want to bring it up the hill a little bit more. Now, I've been talking about it before, but these were going to be the harbor stone that we're going to set on this ledge going out where these posts are. But once I got the gravel in here, the ledge got kind of small, and I don't think those are going to work anymore. Those are some pretty big stone, and once I put them in here, it's pretty much just going to take up everything. I'm not really going to have a lot of harbor space, so I don't think that idea is going to work anymore. But as you know, all plans are subject to change. So I think we might just lift these up out of here and set them aside for now so I can get the gravel where I want it. And those might actually go over here to the left of the ramp, but that'll be a different video. I just want to try and wrap up these gravel beds today and get all this dirt held in place. Pop. But also over here on the golf cart, we have some new solar pumps we're gonna be putting in the pond. I just wanna get them in the water today to make sure they're working, and then we're gonna figure out how we're gonna place them and get them looking good here on Mumbles Pond. These are exactly the same as the one that we already have running over there. So we have 2 solar panels and a water pump that's gonna be flowing some good water flow. I think these are about 800 gallons per hour, depending on the head height. Puppy, you trying to get out of the sun? Your butt's still sticking out, bud. I got you covered. Now to get these pumps in the water, I don't want them sucking up mud off the bottom. So I'm gonna be using these old baskets here. I'm gonna set the pump in there and strap them in with this old baling twine, because the other pump that we have is in a milk crate. We're gonna be pretty much doing the same thing. I'm gonna be hanging it from a ball. I got a basketball and an old bag here that the basketball barely fit in, but it has handles allowing me to strap the ball to the basket that the pump is gonna be in. Same with this ball. It's a pink ball with a little handle on it. My brother's kids outgrew that, so I can use it now for the pond. We are using an identical yellow one over there, but it is losing its air. So I'm probably gonna have to pull that one out and see if I can get it pumped back up. There's always something to do, but we are gonna be trying to get these 2 pumps into Mumbles Pond here, make sure they're working, and just get some more water flowing around here. But I also have some ideas for some natural rock waterfalls here on the pond, so we have some projects coming up. And check it out, the orange daylilies are just starting to bloom. Gorgeous. They are running all along the pond there, so they're gonna be opening up here a lot this week. And that'll be nice. That's why I'm trying to work so hard here to get Mumbles and the ducks out to the pond. They're missing out. But I gotta make sure these pumps work before I set them up on a waterfall. Pop. It works. Come on, Pop, load up. We're gonna take the other one to the other side of the pond. Try and get some water flow all over. Go ahead, get in your seat, puppy. We got a nice fish cover for you, because you're a dirty puppy sometimes. Now for this one, I did just throw it in the bucket with the other one to increase the flow that we already have. And it's a pretty nice waterfall right now. But like I said, we can always switch it up and have another waterfall somewhere else. I might put a stone one by the willows there, or I could even put it at the top of the tributary whenever we get that finished, and it can just always be flowing whenever the sun's out. But the other one I do want to put on the other side of the pond because I want to get some water flow going all around. Pop, make some room. Beep, beep, scoot, scoot, coming in. I'm driving this thing, Pop. Hang on tight. Coming through. Now, Pop, we're on the other side of the pond. It works, Pop. It works. Load up. Puppy dog, you still have some shade down here? You staying cool, puppy? Good boy. That's why I brought the golf cart out, to give you some shade to lay in. I'm glad I did, Pop. But the shade is getting long. But that sun is still beating down here. It feels great out here. Just a perfect day to be working in the pond. Now I was able to get this all the way down and reset the bigger rocks. And now whenever I come down here, I'm not falling down into the mud. And I can even step out onto those rocks now in the water without sliding off down the hill. So that's gonna be nice. I do need one more rock right here to fill that gap. But this is gonna be perfect for the dogs coming down to get a drink without stirring up mud. Pop, you can't go too far. If you go one step too far, you might fall down the hill, but this will get you right to the water to get a drink though. And then, yeah, they can go pretty deep. It's about, and then knee deep, it starts getting soft again. But the ducks will be off and floating by then. And as long as you keep it flat-footed, you can make it up this hill with no problem. Pop, so that is gonna be nice to have this here. Now we can get the ducks in the water without them stirring up the mud, the dogs in the water, and we'll be able to hold it in place whenever the water's just lapping up against the shore. I did bring this gravel bed up a little bit, so whenever the water level comes up, we're still covered. And we still have some more to work with. And doubling that flow looks good. The bluegill are probably loving that. If you missed it, you need to check out my other channel, Whitt Acres Nature at Home, where we're having the pond stocking series, where we're going out and we're actually catching all the fish that we're stocking in Mumbles Pond. Oh, do I got one? Do I have one? I have one, Pop. I have one. We got fish. We got a fish, puppy. Look at him. Good boy. No, you can't eat them. So make sure to subscribe to both channels so you don't miss anything coming out here from Whitt Acres. Pop. I got that other solar pump running just to stir the water up and add some more oxygen. But I have an idea for that one. Get some water flowing over here. Pup, but we've been doing a lot this weekend. I don't even know how long this video is getting. I ordered over 6 tons of stone. I think it was over 12,000 pounds. And we only have about 2 tons sitting here now. I do want to get more of that moved along this bank side here, but I think I need something bigger to put down before I can get the gravel to stick to the edge. If I just put gravel on that edge right now, it's just going to roll down about a foot or two. So I still need to put something bigger down there. I don't know if I want to just disappear a bunch of rock down there, but I could put some concrete block or something, just something to catch the stone. Because I definitely want to try and hold this bank in place. It has a lot of the plantings on it, and I'm afraid this is going to be the hot spot for the ducks to come over and dabble into. It's the most vulnerable spot right now. But we're still waiting to see some actual signs of growth on Mumbles' eggs, or if she goes broody or not, before we let them down to the pond. And she has been sitting inside a lot lately since I stole her eggs. Pop. Now these gravel beds that we put in are for the ducks and the dogs mainly, so they can get in and out without causing a mess. Now over here we have another shallow shelf that I do plan on putting gravel on, because it's going to be a perfect bluegill bed. It's a little bit bigger and a little bit deeper than the other shelves, and I think that's going to be a good spot to put it. And past that stake in the corner, we're going to have the beach area. So this is going to be a good spot to put that, and I might even be able to place the bigger harbor stones here with them sticking out of the water. I think I'm going to find some smaller stone to put there, because once I put the gravel in, it just took up a lot of space. So I think I can put some smaller stones and still achieve the effect. Make sure the dogs don't go too far, and then the bigger stone might work over here. All plans are subject to change. Good. But alright, that's going to be all for this one. If you want to keep following along with the progress here on Mumbles Pond, make sure to subscribe down below. Hit that like button before you leave, and you can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching. Good boy.